turning that into a joke at this point. But all right, we are back for day number 13, day 13 of watching yourself on camera. So here we are, we're back. It's a Sunday. It's been a pretty decent day, a little bit slow. I just got back in from Vegas on yesterday. Yeah, someone had reached out to me. They're like, "Hey, do you want to go out?" Because it was Saturday. It was a Saturday night, and they're like, "Do you want to go out?" And I was like, I highly considered it, right? I'm in my 20s, I'm like, yeah, I just got off a 5-hour flight, but why not? Maybe let's go for it. But then I think my better judgment took over, and I said, no, we can do it next weekend. So that was probably smart because I was pretty tired. I can kind of keep it going, like keep moving along, keep chugging along, you know, um, if I have to. But yeah, like definitely I needed some rest for sure. It's hard to rest on an airplane, so so I thought, hey, let's just get some rest, and then we'll just finish off the weekend and whatnot. And today's been pretty normal. Just did some laundry, cleaned up a little bit, and did some grocery shopping. That's good. Oh, also, I did an edit. I did an Instagram edit. So all like the content I was getting over at Babes in Toyland in Las Vegas, I did an edit. I thought maybe okay, because there was like all these different interviews I got. I thought I was gonna do like an individual post for each interview. I thought that might be what I did, but then I looked at some of the other MOA guys' pages, and I saw it from like maybe like a year or two ago. One of the guys, he did a post where he just did like a bunch of different clips with the same audio track all the way over it, and then he made that into a single post, and you can just tag everybody who's in it right underneath it, or underneath the post. So I did something like that. It was about like a 2-minute video of all the different clips, and I edited it out pretty nice. And what I actually found today was that Instagram, actually the app on your phone, actually has a built-in video editor. That's very, 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 very reasonable. Like for example, for this video edit, I didn't use an external video editor. Like normally, I would use CapCut. Before I was using iMovie, but like CapCut is like a little bit more powerful, I think, and like maybe has like slightly better performance. But then I found like the Instagram one is even better. It's literally directly on the app. And I just edited it all out, and then once it's done, you just click like share, and then boom, post. And then what I did for that one is I posted it on my Reels. Yeah, I posted, instead of posting it like on my direct posts, I did it on the Reels. So just that's not like the first thing you see when you click on my page or whatever. Because it's kind of out of place, I guess. I don't know. Like on the posts, I put like lifestyle photos, and on the Reels, you can just kind of put, video clips, things like that. Maybe I could have put it on the story. I don't know. I mean, it's probably fine on Reels. It's a decent edit. We got some pretty good content, so that was cool. I want to do one more because I got some other footage. And yeah, how long is it? It's like, so today's Sunday. The event was Thursday, so it's been Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's been like 2 or 3 days since the event happened, and it's definitely like, I remember like at a past event I went to, I was like feeling like, oh man, like I shouldn't post if it's already been too much time after the event. You shouldn't post about it. Like, dude, I've seen people post like up to 2 post content from an event like up to 2 weeks after that event, right? So like, you don't need to feel any type of way about posting, especially only a couple days after an event, right? Like, you don't have to feel any type of way about that. It's completely normal. From what it looks like, right? So anyways, I did that post, and it's pretty pleased about it, but like it just gets me thinking, right? Like, man, it was really great content. It was a really great event. I had like a ton of like huge influencers at it and things like that. But man, that's a long way, and it was an expensive trip too. Like, the trip was freaking expensive is relative, but like, I mean, geez, just every like couple hours, cha-ching, 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 like just stuff adding up, having to buy Ubers and all this stuff, the flights, the hotels, all the food, you know, just little things here and there, right? You have to pick up something pick up something at the convenience store. Like, dude, like when I was in Vegas, it was so dry. Oh my gosh, like my lips were like getting crazy dry out there. So I literally went to one of the convenience stores and I bought some, not chapstick, but it's this stuff called like Aquifer, I believe it's called. And it's like kind of like I don't know, I guess it's kind of like petroleum jelly, right? Something that you can just put on your lips to help, relieve some of the dryness, right? Because like, man, it's crazy how dry it gets, and it dries out your skin a little bit and things like that. So that's something that I kind of had to account for, or that I didn't account for, but I had to wrangle with. Nothing too crazy, just takes a couple extra skincare products just to like make sure it's not too big of an issue. Yeah, so that was that. But yeah, so the trip's expensive though, right? It's like, it's not something you want to do. Like, you're like, oh man, that's a great event, but I want to do more, right? Like, I want to do more events, I do want to do more events, but like, or go to more events, but like that though, that's a little much. You have to get on a flight and fly for 5 hours just to go to the events, right? So it really makes me want to do things that are way closer, right? Either, in Miami is like one of the biggest cities in the country, and it's pretty close to Orlando. So maybe do some stuff in Miami, but even better would be, to do stuff in Orlando, right? Like, there's definitely opportunities in Orlando for all sorts of different events, and things you can do where you can get content that is, for lack of better words, high status, right? Like high status content and stuff like that. So there's things you can do in Orlando to do. There's events you can go to where you can get content like that, right? And it's like, okay, why do you want high status content? It's like, it's just the name of the game on social media. Like, social media is, oh my gosh. Well, first of all, if you look at something like Instagram, like, it's all about status. It's all about flexing. It's completely fake, and it's trying to make yourself look way cooler than you actually are, and it's purely just for flexing on other people. Unfortunately, that's just the way the world works. Like, if you don't have a social media in this day and age, like, you're seriously hurting your ability to communicate with other people and to connect with other people. Like, people connect through social media. As fake as it is, people use it and rely on it, and its effects are pretty brutal, right? Like, the effects, it's only been around for like less than 20 years, and it has completely changed the landscape. It's completely changed the way we communicate and the way we connect with other people. And it's like, if you're not on it, you're severely hurting your ability to connect. And also, it's severely impacting people's expectations about what life is like, and what to expect, right? Like, you see all these people online who are just like killing it. They're super rich, they're super good looking, they're super healthy, they're super, this, that, and the other, well read, they're super, whatever, right? And you're like, man, and you compare that to yourself, and you're like, dude, it just makes you feel bad, because you're trying to compare yourself to other people. It's like I said, social media is all about flexing, at least Instagram, not TikTok. I haven't looked too much into. I mean, I just know it's kind of like the new Vine. That's the way I think about it. Like, Vine was a thing back in the day, like back in maybe 10 or so years ago. Vine was like huge. It was like very, very trendy. The TikTok, yeah, it's like this very addictive app, right? And the way it's affecting, people's brains, right? If you see this stuff at a young age, it really shapes your life, right? The things that you see at a young age are so impactful on your life. You know, have you ever seen the way people are? Like, people have different personalities. Like, a lot of it comes down to, you know, the way they grew up, right? Like, what types of things were they exposed to when they were a kid, right? Like, you know, were they exposed to abundance, or were they exposed to abundance as a kid, right? You know, they asked for something and they got it, or were they exposed to scarcity, right? Like, they asked for things and they just never got them, right? And whatnot. And also, we don't really think about things like personality disorders, right? Like people who have a narcissistic personality disorder or something like that. It's like a very like, you know, prototypical case, right? Or like a very like the most like obvious case, the most like famous type of, you know, disorder, right? People who are narcissistic, you know, like I think the idea is like if someone grew up and they were, you know, they didn't get their needs met, you know, by their parents, you know, they started to rely on themselves so much that it became like, is the word pathological? Like they literally became part of their personality to rely on themselves. So then they become highly, you know, they become narcissistic, right? And it's interesting. They say like a lot of narcissistic people are highly charismatic, and whatnot. And they're like, you know, so they may, you know, lack the ability to build. Is it like, is it build relationships? Obviously, I'm getting out of my depth here. Like, what does it mean to be a narcissist, right? It's like, you know, you lack empathy for others, right? So you can have relationships with people, but you maybe don't feel that level of empathy for them. You can't see the world through their lens just because of that childhood trauma, for a lack of better words, right? But for one thing though, like you can learn something from everybody. You know, even if someone's a narcissist, maybe that person shouldn't be, you know, your your next president or something like that, right? But you know, that doesn't mean you can't learn from these people, right? And if someone's like extra empathetic, you know, maybe that person shouldn't be, you know, I don't know, like if you need the person to have the ability to, you know, make a tough decision, right? Even if it affects somebody, they need to be able to see both sides of the equation. You know, but you can still learn from these types of people in any way. Like the one example I heard is like people who are narcissists, yes, they struggle with empathy and whatnot, and they can't really have, you know, real deep, meaningful connections. You know, they're very good with things like making money and also with like dating and whatnot, just because they're very charismatic and they're very pragmatic because they do what works. So just like that, you can learn a little bit from any person from different walks of life. All right, well, that's enough yapping for today. Bye now.